Who wants to steal a boat, pack it full of beer and supplies, and head out to Channel Islands National Park? Alright, let's not get carried away, guys. Let's not go commit any felonies. First, let's learn about the park first. So, living near the California's iconic coastline, we have the privilege to look across the water at sunset and lay our eyes upon those isolated treasures of natural beauty and wonder we call the Channel Islands. So, today I'll be informing you about the Channel Islands National Park. First, I will talk to you guys about the history. Secondly, I'm going to talk to you guys about the wildlife of the park. And the last thing I'm going to talk to you guys about recreational activities for people to do. So, according to Thomas W. Dibble Jr., author of Geology of the Channel Islands, 1982, states the formation of the islands began about 100 million years ago with the collision of the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate. So right here I have a picture of the Farallon Plate and the North American Plate. And the Farallon Plate was actually a section of the larger Pacific Plate which collided into the North American Plate. And the Pacific Plate actually receded and brought chunks of the North American Plate with it, which geologists believe were actually remnants of the Santa Monica Mountains. And it kept on pushing itself under, bringing that North American Plate up, which helped to the formation of the islands. So, according to George Roberts, a contributing author of Geology to Channel Islands, edited in 1998, the islands consist of two main types of rock. So, the first main type of rock is erodible sandstone. The second type of rock is volcanic rock, which volcanic activity actually contributed to the formation of the islands, especially on Santa Cruz. So, the islands actually merged as one large mega island called Santa Rosa. So the islands we see today are actually a product of erosion, right? And unless there's more plate tectonic activity which lifts the earth up, the islands as we know it will eventually completely erode away. Pretty sad. So according to author Dr. John R. Johnson, curator of anthropology at the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History, wrote in June 2016 saying the Arlington man discovered in Santa Rosa Island lived there when the island was that one large landmass 13,000 years ago. And it's actually the oldest discovered human remains in North America. So according to Julie Stenzel, an island Chumash descendant, June 2016, says that Chumash people inhabited the islands as far back as 11,000 years ago. So the Chumash people were a true marine culture. They had to live off the sea and the coastal mountains because once you go inland, it's very deserted and dry. So, me Chumash was actually a term the mainland Chumash coined on the island Chumash, meaning maker of bead money. So, the island Chumash inhabited the northern islands, which consisted of San Miguel, Santa Rosa, Santa Cruz, and seasonally they would occupy Anacapa Island. And they did that seasonally because there wasn't a whole lot of water out there. So according to author Peter Wiggin, the 1994 discovery and excavation on Santa Rosa Island found one of the most complete skeletons to date of a pygmy mammoth. Now check this, guys. Check this out, guys. So that's a pygmy mammoth. They're actually descendants of the Columbian mammoth, which lived on the mainland. And you can see by the size compared to that person there, the pygmy mammoth got to islands and was forced to adapt because it did not have as much food or resources as it would on the mainland. So now that we have learned some history about the Channel Islands National Park, let's talk about who lives there now. So according to NPS.gov, the Channel Islands hosts 2,000 species of plants and animals, 150 of which can only be found on the island, which gives the island its nickname, North America's Galapagos. Very cool. So NPS.gov states the island fox is a direct descendant of the mainland's gray fox. So here's a picture of the island fox. Cute little guy. So on each island, the fox adapted to its own subspecies. And they think that the fox got there to each island originally, it would raft on floating debris. So according to author P.B. Sharp, from the Institute of Wildlife Studies, 2005, says the bald eagle is a permanent resident of the Channel Islands until human interference in the 1960s. Now, DDT was the main cause of the bald eagle being extinct from the island. The bald eagle would catch and eat terrestrial animals. It would catch and eat marine animals. And when doing this, eating them, it was also ingesting the poison, which led the bald eagle to die. And they used it so much, it wiped them all out. Now, that was a picture of two bald eagles on Santa Cruz. So since 2002, 34 bald eagles have been introduced to the island, 24 of which are still there, and new bald eagles from the mainland are starting to live on the island as well. According to Monty L. Bean in his article, The Island Night Lizard 2018 states the lizard has been recently released in 2014 from the federal list of endangered species. So the night lizard is very unique. It gives birth to live young, which is unlikely in the reptile family. They usually lay eggs. So also its metabolic rate is very low. It can only has to eat about half the food of a relative lizard its size, and it can live up to 25 years. So now that we have educated ourselves on a unique species, let's talk about fun stuff for people to do. No more recreational activities become unique when you're on the islands. The islands have their own atmosphere. You're out there and you're seeking adventure. It's just a whole different experience from the mainland. And one of those different experiences that you can't experience on the mainland, but is different on the island, is tide pooling. Now, the island has very pristine ecosystems, which leads to a very diverse array of creatures. So you can go out there and tide pool for days and find something new every time you turn around. So snorkeling is another cool way to explore the island. You got kelp forests, you got sea caves. You can just jump in and check out the pristine beaches. So you can hit up island packers. They'll bring you out there. They'll take care of you with all the gear, and they'll even feed you. So let's not forget about hiking. The trails on the islands offer adventure and breathtaking views. One of the greatest hikes out there is Lobo Canyon, which you walking through sandstone carved canyon, and it opens up to the ocean, a beautiful mouth right there. And if you take a left, you can hit up tide pools for another 2 miles. So now that we know more about the island, in conclusion, the Channel Islands National Park is a beacon for education and adventure, literally waiting to be explored. So I talked about the fascinating history, the unique wildlife, and some fun activities for people to do on the island. So guys, don't go out there, don't steal a boat. Hit up Island Packers. They already packed up all the beer for you. I'll see y'all.